T.I. explained himself. They only responded because, hit dogs holler. Now, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. T.I., T.I.'s son, they supposed to think that that's beauty, but I think deep down inside, T.I., he know what it is.
It started with a single post, just a title on Instagram. No trailer, no footage, no announcement. Surviving T.I. and Tiny. 50 Cent deleted it minutes later, but the screenshot had already gone viral. And in those few minutes, the feud between him and T.I. shifted from a rap battle into something with long-term consequences. Because a diss track fades in weeks. A documentary, once online, lives forever. It becomes part of how someone's legacy is defined. That's why this deleted post hit harder than any bar either man had ever dropped. The tension between 50 Cent and T.I. goes back to 2007, when T.I. was arrested on federal weapons charges involving machine guns and silencers. The sentence that followed was surprisingly light, something 50 Cent never let go. Over the years, he referenced it in lyrics, interviews, and social media posts, planting implications without ever saying them outright. In hip-hop, even indirect hints of cooperating with federal authorities carry weight that lasts for years. For a long time, the rivalry simmered in the background, but in early 2026, T.I. reignited it during a podcast, claiming that 50 Cent agreed to a Versus battle and then backed out, calling it ducking the smoke. The implication hit hard, framing 50 as avoiding a direct challenge. 50 Cent's response was unexpected. Instead of firing back about music catalogs, he posted an old Crime Stoppers PSA featuring T.I. talking about crime prevention in Atlanta. The message was clear to anyone familiar with hip-hop politics: subtle, calculated, and devastating. Within minutes, blogs and fan forums exploded. The 2007 federal case was back in circulation. T.I. responded directly, accusing 50 of hypocrisy and hinting that he had documents that could flip the narrative. The feud had moved past music. It was personal. And then 50 took it even further, posting an unflattering image of Tiny Harris with a caption aimed at T.I. Taking a shot at someone's spouse in a public feud signals a major escalation. It forces emotional responses rather than strategic ones, and it worked. T.I. didn't react first. His son, King Harris, went live on Instagram almost immediately. What started as a defense of his mother escalated into something that caught even neutral fans off guard. During the stream, King brought up 50 Cent's late mother, murdered when 50 was just 8 years old, and referenced her directly. Shortly after, he released a video wearing a shirt with her image. The reaction split the internet. Some understood the protective instinct. Cross your family, expect a fight. Others said King had crossed a line in hip-hop etiquette, regardless of the provocation. T.I. eventually weighed in, respecting his son's defense, but acknowledging that the moment had gone past a line. 50's response? Calculated silence mixed with memes. No diss track, no emotional outburst, just posts that kept him trending, keeping the power in his hands without appearing reactive. It was a restraint, a signal that he wasn't backing down, but he had chosen a different battlefield. Then King posted what he claimed were FBI documents, suggesting that 50 Cent had cooperated with federal authorities during a 2009 case. The implication was clear. If 50 wanted to push a cooperation narrative against T.I., the same accusation could now be aimed back at him. The internet exploded. Some questioned the authenticity of the documents. Others argued context mattered. In a few short days, what started as a feud over music became a web of family, legacy, legal whispers, and social media warfare. And the stakes? Higher than ever. It wasn't just a post, it was a spark. 50 Cent didn't drop a trailer, a clip, or even a full announcement. He posted a single title on Instagram: Surviving T.I. and Tiny. Minutes later, it was gone, deleted. But the screenshot was already everywhere, spreading faster than any diss track could. And in that brief window, the entire feud shifted from bars and verses to a battlefield with real long-term stakes. Because diss tracks fade. Documentaries, they stick. They get recommended. They live in search engines and streaming feeds forever. To understand why that post hit so hard, you need context. Back in 2021, Sabrina Peterson, an entrepreneur with prior public conflict involving the Harris family, made allegations online that triggered a larger wave. Multiple women came forward describing incidents at private events tied to T.I. and Tiny. Attorneys claimed more than 20 people had reached out with similar stories, involving situations where substances were present and boundaries allegedly crossed. Legal action was attempted, but the law had limits. Most incidents had occurred years prior, statutes of limitations had expired, and a civil case in 2024 was eventually dismissed. T.I. and Tiny denied every allegation, calling them coordinated attacks to damage their reputation. No criminal charges were ever filed. The story faded, but it never disappeared. And that's exactly why a documentary post like Surviving T.I. and Tiny carries so much weight. The title wasn't random. It evokes Surviving R. Kelly, the landmark series that didn't reveal new information. It organized years of public allegations into a coherent, emotional story. Millions watched, millions reacted. That's the power of narrative structure, and 50 Cent knows it. He built Power into a multi-season franchise. He understands audience, distribution, and impact. A deleted post from him isn't a mistake, it's a signal. The removal itself becomes part of the story, fueling speculation, lawyers involved, platforms resisting, something big on the horizon. Whether any of that is true doesn't matter. The idea now lives in the public's mind. T.I. responded like he usually does, directly, without panic. He framed it as a challenge, hinting he had material that could be organized the same way. Whether it's a genuine counter-documentary or a bluff, the message is clear. This feud is no longer about music. It's about controlling the narrative of the other person's legacy in front of millions.
Right now, Surviving T.I. and Tiny doesn't exist on any platform. There's no trailer, no release date, no confirmation, only a deleted screenshot and the storm it created. But 50 Cent has a pattern. Let the idea circulate. Watch the public react, and strike at the moment of maximum impact. Music may still play a role, diss tracks, social media exchanges, but the battlefield has shifted. The next most consequential move in this feud won't happen in a studio or on a streaming service for songs. It'll happen on a platform built for storytelling, a platform where millions can witness, judge, and remember. So, what do you think? Is the documentary real, coming, and about to shake hip-hop to its core? Or was it a calculated play to win a news cycle without dropping a single bar? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe for deep dives into the real moves behind hip-hop's biggest feuds, and stay tuned because this story is far from over.